This is a presentation of the Yaka Digital Network. In the study of sociology, we find that the performing arts exist as a vital organ within the body of a community, rather than a separate luxury. Consider the atmosphere of a traditional village wedding in Uganda. If we remove the rhythmic greeting of the songs, the synchronized motion of the dance, and the cadence of the elders' storytelling, the event changes. Without these performances, a complex cultural milestone is reduced to a simple meal. These artistic expressions serve as the glue that prevents a community from dissolving into a collection of individuals. They define what it means to be a society. To analyze this system formally, we use the term intangible cultural heritage. This heritage consists of the living expressions we inherit from our ancestors, specifically oral traditions, performing arts, and social practices. We must view these traditions as a rigorous sociological system. They act as the primary data set used to construct a collective identity from one generation to the next. When we understand how this data is transmitted, we begin to see how a nation maintains its resilience and unity. Performing arts serve a dual purpose in society, operating simultaneously as a reflection of reality and a tool for modification. As a mirror, art reflects the community's current state. A song about the high cost of living or the difficulty of navigating a Kampala street scene provides a shared language for the struggles and fears of urban life. As a shaper, art actively instructs members of the community on how to behave. When an elder teaches a child a traditional song, the rhythmic and lyrical structure serves as a vehicle for moral instruction. The child learns the practical application of values like patience, respect, and communal duty through the act of performance. In societies where history was traditionally maintained through speech, these performances served as the primary archives for collective memory and shared responsibility. This transfer of values leads to the physical mechanics of social cohesion. This term refers to the strength of relationships and the sense of solidarity that keeps a community from fracturing. Cohesion is built through synchronized participation. When dancers are physically and rhythmically aligned, they are practicing the act of existing in unison. Participating in dances such as Baki Simba or Ding Ding requires an individual to cooperate and respect a central lead, like the master drummer. Look closely at this arrangement. Can you identify the leader in the circle? Consider how this specific layout influences the hierarchy of the participants. This physical alignment trains a village for real-world cooperation. The same skills used to stay in rhythm are applied to farming collectively or supporting one another during a local crisis. The structure of the performance space also introduces a leveling effect. In a circle facing inward toward a central drum, social hierarchies are suspended. Every person is an equal participant in the shared rhythm. This unique space allows art to function as a tool for social critique through what is known as the satirical shield. Confronting a selfish or incompetent leader directly can be dangerous. However, artists use humorous songs or skits to call out this behavior. The context of performance protects the artist, even while the message reaches the entire community. This extends to interpersonal disputes as well. Music and dance rituals are often used to de-escalate tensions and acknowledge shared humanity before formal negotiations begin. By creating a protected space for critique and reminding parties of their common ties, the arts serve as a community's ultimate mechanism for conflict resolution. We can visualize these functions as a continuous cycle called the art-society loop. Our historical roots, our traditions, provide the foundational data. This data inspires the performances we create today. These performances demonstrate and reinforce the specific values the community adopts. Those values eventually solidify into our societal identity, which then reinforces the original tradition for the next generation. Society and art are locked in a cycle of mutual influence. To change the way a society performs is to change the society itself. However, as we urbanize, the functions of art are changing. We see a transition from village identity rights to theater, media platforms, and protest art. The physical space has also shifted. Traditional functions once tied to the village square are now being projected through stadiums and digital media to foster national unity. This shift creates a risk known as the modern disconnect. Increasingly, we are moving from being active participants in a shared space to becoming passive consumers of media. Passive consumption fractures social cohesion. When we stop performing together, we lose the rhythmic alignment that trains us to cooperate. For the performing arts student, this social fracture represents a specific professional opportunity. A society that lacks cohesion is a society looking for a solution. Your role is to bridge this gap. This involves packaging traditional values, like unity and respect, into digital formats that can reach a modern audience. The most successful Ugandan artists understand this social need. By singing about hard work, family, and national unity, they tap into the community's requirements for stability. Strengthening the community through art is how an artist builds a loyal and sustainable audience. To summarize for your UNAV assessment, remember that art mirrors and shapes behavior. It builds cohesion through shared experience. It preserves heritage, and it must be modernized without losing its core purpose. You are the guardians of your culture. Use your creativity to build a more united Ugandan society. This concludes our lesson. Visit the Yaka Digital Network website for more course materials and interactive content.